Hello friends, welcome to another lecture on Tableau Dashboard automation using Selenium. It is for the automation testing. So we have two sample dashboards. Uh, Here are the URLs. This one already we have seen, and this is the newer one. This dashboard is the HR attrition dashboard, and this one is another dashboard. So we'll try to automate these dashboards. So before automating, let's have a look how this dashboard is arranged. So here I am directly saying here the enter thing is the Tableau dashboard workbook. Okay, uh, the enter thing is the Tableau dashboard workbook. Okay, inside that there are many tabs. So this is tab 1, this is tab 2, this is tab 3. Let me write Tableau workbook. It is Tableau workbook. These are the tabs. Tab 1, tab 2, this is tab 3. Okay, these are the Tableau tabs, or you can say inside the workbook these are the sheets. Okay, inside when you click on a tab, a worksheet opens. Okay, a Tableau sheet opens. Suppose this is corresponding to tab 1. Okay, when you click tab 2, this sheet will refresh. So inside that, this is the sheet. Okay, this is the Tableau sheet. uh, Let me write here Tableau. This is Tableau sheet. Inside that, things are arranged inside arranged by a number of worksheets. Let's say it is worksheet 1, worksheet 1. This is worksheet 2. This is worksheet 3. Okay. So in order to understand this, let's go to a live Tableau dashboard. This is a Tableau dashboard, or you can say Tableau workbook. Okay, inside the workbook there are number of sheets, and those will be when you click the tab it will open. This is GDP per capita sheet. This is GDP per capita map sheet. Okay, on clicking on the tab or on the tab, that sheet is displayed. Inside that, okay, things are arranged within a number of worksheets. This is worksheet 1, this is worksheet 2, again this is year is inside another worksheet 3, region is another inside another worksheet means worksheet 4. So inside a sheet many worksheets are present. Okay, so now we will going to access these elements or try to filter out to see the data details. Okay, when we click on Middle East or any value, as per that the fields will populate. Okay, we will see, we'll try to call this dashboard, either this dashboard or this dashboard in our worksheet, in our custom designed HTML page, and Tableau JavaScript API will help us to automate this workbook, entire workbook means all the sheets. Okay, let's go and create a HTML web page. Before that, let's just reiterate what we have done so far. The contents, we will be taking help of Java. So we installed JDK For the Java scripting language, Eclipse will be the ID for automation, and we automated a sample web page. Okay, it is for the persons who are fresher to the Selenium. So we automated a sample web page. Then we tried to automate Tableau dashboard, or we try to identify or locate the elements on the Tableau workbook, but that is impossible. Selenium thrown element not found exception. Okay, so the next thing is like we will be creating a sample HTML web page, and inside that we will embed the workbook, which is the application under test, or which is to be automated. So for that we just saw how to create a HTML web page, and how to call a function, okay, JavaScript function from external file. We saw that. So all the above things will help us to automate. So the 10th lecture will be creation of HT creation of automation dashboard, and calling, taking a reference to Tableau workbook. Okay, we'll do that. So for that, let's create a create the HTML web page. So here the actual automation starts. So under the name application or app, uh, create HTML page inside the app folder, new text document. So give it a name as dashboard, then dashboard.html. Okay, open it through Notepad++. Okay, let's host this file. We have seen how to host it through localhost. So http sorry python-m http.server. If you want a specific port, you can mention 8080. Let's say it is now hosted. So go to your browser localhost. 8080 is the running port. The dashboard page displayed, nothing is displayed there because we have not written anything. This file is blank. Inside that, create the HTML page. Here we are trying to create a HTML page and calling the Tableau dashboard, which is accessible to the Selenium over here, means elements can be locatable. So HTML tag, we know there are two sections in the HTML page, header section, then the body section. That's why I have taken the lecture on HTML page, because you will not be surprised on this session what is this, means what are these tags. Okay, title, title, give the name title as automation dashboard, refresh the page, see the uh, tab name is corrected, but nothing is there, we have not written anything. Then write something. So inside the body, define two sections. Okay, define two sections. I will say why. It is done by div tag, div, and close the div tag. Div tag means if you want, like we write a paragraph, means all things are put in a particular section. Here we are defining the section by div tag. Okay, div tag, and create another div tag. Here we will be calling in the second div means second session, we will be calling our HTML, in the HTML div tag, div section, we will be calling the Tableau dashboard. Okay, so give it a name, id equal to means inside the container, call it as Vij container, or the visualization container, Vij container, and give like what is really it is like, suppose this is our HTML web page. Okay, we will be defining two sections. I will be saying in one section we will be defining a height and width. It is the container. Okay, it is the Vij container. Vij, it is the Vij container. It is the Vij container where the Tableau dashboard page will come through. Okay, the Tableau URL that will be embedded in that section. Okay, getting clear? It is our HTML document, HTML page. Inside the HTML page we are defining a section of Vij container. Inside that the URL will be embedded. Okay, then we will access it. So id equal to Vij container, and define a height and width for the container. It is used with the style attribute. Height equal to height is same 600 px define. Okay, and the second, within the second div, uh, the first div, give a name to the Tableau page with the h3 tag, let's say, or you can write h4 tag. Give a name it to it, automation dashboard. Refresh the page. Automation dashboard is displayed here. We can see the page source. See, two div tag are present. Okay, inside the div tag, this div tag, we will be loading our Tableau URL. Okay, the Tableau URL, Tableau dashboard URL, which is under automation, that will be loaded inside this container. So when it will be loaded, when the page will be loaded, this dashboard will be called to load. Okay, when this page will be refreshed or loaded, this along with that it will be loaded. So in the body we will write a function on load equal to a function init Vij. This is the Vij container. To initialize it, we will write a function init Vij, and that function will be called to load the Tableau URL. So let's write that function inside the header section. How to write a function? I have already told in the last lecture. It is used through JavaScript. Script type equal to text slash JavaScript and the script tag. Whatever things will be present within this script tag, that will be your coding part. So how to write a function on the JavaScript? Using function keyword, function, the name of the function will be init Vij. That will load the Tableau URL on the page load. Okay, on the body of the HTML page will be loaded. Okay, let's just to test whether the function is getting called or not, write a sample code. Alert hi. See, when the page is loaded, see on the page load, hi is called, means that function is getting called successfully. Okay, so but this is not our expectation. We'll be loading the Tableau web page. Okay, so to do that, get the first we will be getting this container. Okay, we will be getting this container and we will be setting the details inside this. To get this, how to do that? Create a variable. Okay, container container div container div equal to document document dot get element by id. Which id, which in which container we will be setting the value inside the base container, it is the id. In the div we have defined the x and y width 600. So we are getting this element. Inside that element we will be setting the value. So how to set that? To set that, create another variable var base equal to new tableau dot vig. It is the function new tableau dot vig. This container div, here in the container div we will be setting the URL of the we'll be setting that page which we want to automate. So means that URL of the page. Okay, so that URL of the page, what is the URL of the page? URL variable URL equal to this URL. This is the URL we are calling to set here. Okay, so this URL will be passed to the function as a parameter. Then one another options. Okay, options you can write as define as var options equal to, it is a JSON, means different styles or functionalities. Container boxes, just write this. I'll be explaining this. Hide tabs, let's say false. Hide toolbar, let's say false. On fast interactive a function. We are currently we are not defining anything inside the function. You will get confused unnecessarily. So I'm just passing this option. I will explain by enabling disabling these options. So let's load our web page. Yes, but nothing is happening. I know the reason. Here we have not taken the reference of Tableau JavaScript API. Okay, because who is the facilitator who will be doing these activities? Okay, Tableau JavaScript API is doing all these activities. Okay, so to do that, how to uh, let me write then explain. I am writing another function, Tableau JavaScript API. I have already shown how to reference external JS file. Okay, what happens when you refer inside your HTML web page, then all the functions in that JS file or JavaScript file is reusable inside your HTML web page, means those are accessible over here. So I will be taking reference of Tableau JavaScript API. So src equal to, we do it through src attribute, src https public, it is the static URL, public dot tableau dot com, public dot tableau dot com slash java scripts slash API slash tableau tableau hyphen 2 dot min dot js. Okay, we have taken the functions, because when you are selecting or interacting on the Tableau dashboard elements, okay, Tableau worksheet, or you are getting or setting or interacting anything on the Tableau web page, who will be facilitating? Tableau JavaScript API will help us to automate the Tableau dashboard. Okay, so we have included that. How to include? Like through src script, we have included that JavaScript tip. Now load. See, it is loading. Inside our automation dashboard, we have taken the response, we have embedded this dashboard. Let me reload it. On the same URL, let's see what is opening. On the same URL, GDP per capita, this page is opening. Okay, we have taken the reference inside our sample dashboard, which is hosted on the local host. Okay, so you can interact on these elements. Will be means we'll see how we will automate this dashboard. You will be wondering that why I have not taken reference to this page. Actually, I tried and I come to know that this is actually on this dashboard, the attribute is set that it cannot be referred, or it cannot be embedded in an external uh, page. Okay, there, see the error what is coming here. It is loading. Let me comment it and load this URL. This URL, what it is saying. In fact, see, it is not loaded, and the reason being, you can see the error refused to display in, because it is set X that frame option to same origin, means inside the same origin you can embed or call that dashboard. You can call from external source. Okay, so this dashboard cannot be embedded, but in your organization, developer normally not put that it cannot be embedded. So you can call and automate this. If there is anything, you can ask your developer to disable that. Okay, that is not an issue. Here it is Tableau public, so here means it is intentionally set not to embed this dashboard anywhere. This is only for the Tableau view purpose. You cannot automate here, because you will be providing extra load to this server. Okay, so that's why they have set that thing, that you cannot call or embed this. The restriction here is of same origin, frame option to same origin. Okay, we are calling from outside. So I am reverting. Now if you load, And this is a good example because it has multiple sheets also, and different things we can see how to select geographical marks, okay, regions, o- okay, all the things we will see on it, how to switch tab, everything we will see. So we will be taking help, or we will be automating this dashboard. So I am closing this one. So here another thing for this lecture, here we have written the function over here. Let's don't write the function inside the same HTML web page. Let's write it inside an external file, like we have done in the last lecture. In a source file there, keep all the functions what we have. Then we will be calling that function in our we will be calling those functions in our web page by including through src attribute. Source folder, create a new function.js file. Inside that, open it with notepad++, got these functions from here, init bhij, okay, got this function from here, okay. I have only this script to load. Now if you will refresh, nothing will load because we have not taken reference of that function. So to load that in the same way, write another line, JavaScript src is from the source folder dot folder. What is the name of the file? Function.js. Now refresh the page. It should load correctly. Now it is loading because it is means calling that file, taking reference from this function file. So going forward, whatever the functions will be write inside this functions.js. Okay. So here let define these variables, some of the variables as a global, which we will be using bhij bar bhij. This will be used many where. Okay. So let's define it as our global variable. So I am not defining again. Then that's it for the timing being. The page is loading correctly. So then we will see how to automate this. Okay. So guys, this much is for this lecture. We will see the next step in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.